Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
But the first question was, whose children are more important in the light of the killing of 20 innocent children in Newtown, Connecticut, and the public outcry of stopping gun violence? I asked the question of whose children are more important. Black children have been dying in the inner cities to gun violence since forever. Why the moment of clarity now?
Well, we know what they consider more important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had talked about this on Facebook, where everybody was, having this moment of clarity about all of this violence and evil in the world. Like, we just suddenly discovered that, there's bad people out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what like black folks was just like going along with the program. Like all you got to do is just look in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wasn't this shit going on a long time ago?
Yeah.
So what makes this any different?
Well, you know the answer to that.
Because all I kept hearing, like on the radio and on the TV, like, this shouldn't have happened. This is not the place where this should have happened. I mean, there ain't no niggas over. I mean, sorry,
or sticks.
We got away from those people. How come we still got this violence coming to us?
They were out in the sticks.
Yeah.
Out in the sticks is usually where all the bad stuff happens.
And the really sad part is that I hate to see any kids get killed, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not a cool thing. But what's bothering me is just the fake sentiment that I'm hearing from people who they don't give a fuck about those parents who lost their children. This is just a sensational story, like on the news where, the reporters with that fake empathy, like, oh, God, these people are really going through a lot of pain. So let's show you going through their pain for 24 hours. We'll be right back with more pain. Get the fuck out of here, man. So we already know the reason why this is different is because, as usual, whenever something happened to white people, now it becomes a problem. Now we're gonna have all types of gun legislation and gun control, this and whatever. First of all, and I kept asking people, why is gun control even on the table? This dude got the guns from a registered homeowner.
Yep, his mother.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you controlling? What, are you saying that the homeowners shouldn't have guns? I don't know if anybody saw a post that I put up in the Facebook, but there's this case called Bowers versus Devito.
Yep.
See that?
I saw it.
This is something that they never talk about when they talk about the gun control thing. And that's just one case. I had a whole list of cases that show you that the state and the government is not responsible for protecting you. And they tell you in Supreme Court cases that they have no duty to protect you. So isn't that kind of important when we start talking about this gun control shit?
Yep. Yes, it is.
Because the whole premise is the average citizen shouldn't have guns because guns are dangerous and they're not qualified. You need to leave that to the professionals. But the professionals don't protect you. So it's real simple for me. Any gun that the police and the Army are allowed to have, so should citizens. Point blank. Because I hear people talk about
mentally stable citizens.
Should they have a bazooka? Can the Army have a bazooka? Can the police have a bazooka? Well, if the police can have a bazooka, then the fucking citizens should have a bazooka too. Because the police work for the citizenry. This isn't, we know that this is, keep in mind, this is all theoretical.
Right.
We know that this is supposed to be for the people, by the people, which means that technically the people cannot assign powers to something that they produce that they don't have. You can't do that according to their own laws. So how are you going to have the police and all of the things that you pay with your money having more power than you? So let these motherfuckers be stupid enough to think that you're going to take all the guns away from homeowners and citizens and you're going to put them in the hands of the government and watch what the fuck is going to happen.
Honestly, to me, gun control laws only empower criminals because they're going to get the gun regardless.
Exactly.
So the only person who's affected is the person who. The only person who's affected is the person who's not breaking the law. Because the person who is, that's going to make it that much easier for him to feed off of me as prey. Because now my fangs and my teeth are taken away, so he can, because he's going to get the guns, the drug, whatever he needs regardless. But now I no longer can defend against it, and as you said, no one is responsible to protect me. So my position is further weakened.
A lot of people was making the argument, I heard some people make the argument that if there had been a gun, if somebody had a gun there, maybe this wouldn't have went down. And people were laughing at them and saying, "Oh, that's ridiculous. So more guns is the solution, motherfucker." If somebody put one in that dude's melon, is that so ridiculous an argument? You have a guy coming up, an armed guy coming and shooting unarmed people. Had somebody been armed, they could have put his ass down.
Yeah, he would have killed 2 kids instead of 20.
Thank you.
The first shot would have surprised me. The second shot, my hand would have been on my hip, and then before he pulled the third one, he'd be down. So that's no argument there. I'm sorry.
So we saw how no guns did. We saw results that produced. Maybe had some of them, somebody there, some of the security or a cop men there or something. Maybe this guy could have been put down, and if some kids had been killed, maybe a couple of them would have been killed, like you said, but not 20.
Right.
That means it's open season. You're just going through. Nobody can stop me, so I'm just killing as much motherfuckers as I can, and then everybody's sitting back wondering, well, damn, y'all guys want more guns?
Yeah, and the thing that's scary about that is that's such a simple. That's like you got to be retarded not to see that. For the average person to be so dumbed down to be on the entire other side of that argument and not see the point, the people get what government they deserve.
Well, that's the agenda. Everybody wants to disarm the populace.
Right.
And this is the part that comes with supposed freedom and freedom of choice or whatever. People have the choice to do certain things, man. And you're going to always have situations where people bug out.
Right.
Like I put up on my page, it's like, what's the percentage of people killed in automobile accidents that have never left their home? 0, right?
Right.
Is that... think of how ridiculous that is. You got to go out.
Exactly.
So you can't just have a situation where you have no guns or try to this imaginary world, first of all, because like you said, if you take away guns from the people who's supposed to have them, what are you going to do about the criminals, the people that's getting their guns on the underground? How are you going to legislate
them? It's easier to be a criminal.
Yeah. Are you going to stop? Is your so-called ban on assault rifles going to affect them?
If it's about saving lives, then we really need to ban butter, pork, and trans fat because they kill more people in the world than anything else.
Right.
And sugar. Those are the number one killers. I mean,
yeah. But
relationally
that's
speaking,
the whole
guns
thing.
even in America.
That's the whole point in a nutshell, which is why I go back to Bowers versus Devito and all those other cases. The government has no duty to protect you. So why do they get on here pretending as if that's their number one concern? Oh, well, the number one thing is the safety of the public. Well, how come I can't sue your ass when you don't do it?
Exactly.
If I try to sue the government because they didn't protect me, watch what they go. All of these things are going to pop up saying, well, damn, I don't have no duty to protect you. So what the fuck are you talking about then? It's a no-brainer. Hell no. No gun control.
Right.
No-brainer. You don't protect
if
me,
they were that
fuck
concerned,
gun control.
Right. I mean, if they were that concerned about safety, then they would take the lead thimerosal out of the vaccines that they give to babies as soon as they're born.
Right.
It would be an obvious thing to take mercury out of babies to prevent them from developing autism. That'd be, kind of an easy thing, but no, it's guns. It's guns and violent video games.
Syrup. How about that? Let's ban
right.
that.
Yeah. So this is the same thing. I mean, I had this shit figured out when I was 13 years old and Mortal Kombat came out, and then a couple years later when Doom came out, and they wanted to blame Columbine on id Software for making a game where you blow up demons. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? The kid was nuts, and they were the only one. I mean, it's
to be honest,
I want to blame everything that
video games and movies are a release.
Right.
That's the reason why they're so popular. I remember when I was going through some shit, when I would go to the arcade game and blow some niggas up, I felt better.
Right.
It didn't make me go, damn, let me go outside and do this in real life. No, it's like you go and play those games so you don't do that shit in real life.
Caught many a flawless victory.
Exactly. Rip a motherfucker's head off and pull his spine out. You can do that in the fucking video game. You ain't doing that shit in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't even thinking about that shit. But what it is that everybody wants to make an excuse for the behavior of their children. It's like when our children do shit bad, they are labeled bad children. White folks do things bad. Now we got to have a fucking commission and a study to find out why this was done. Maybe because you got a crazy motherfucker. How about that? Or maybe he was a fucking lowlife. How about that? But no, you can't say that because that's our children. My child is not a psychopath.
Yeah, right.
It's just something wrong with society. We got to figure out what society did.
Well, society didn't buy those guns for her, those guns that she kept in her house, and that she was training him, this mentally ill kid, to use.
Oh, and let's address that woman. Can we address the pink elephant in the room? When are we going to finally get the report that she was a fucking agent? Because that's what she was. She got a Bushmaster and a SIG.
A SIG? What the fuck?
That's what she had. A 40 cal.
I didn't even think that was, I was going to say I didn't even think that was legal in this country, but I guess it don't matter.
So she was an agent. That's the reason why she had that shit. Everybody wondering, how come she had this stuff? How come she had this type of weaponry and she was just a school teacher? Because she fucking wasn't just a school teacher.
She was 008. That's what it was.
No, she wasn't no school teacher at all. Her ass had a SIG Sauer. That's a 40 caliber. So no woman buy guns like that. A Bushmaster? Are you kidding me? What woman buys a assault rifle with that like that? Come on, man. They think we stupid and shit.
No, they call in her. They call in her.
And let's keep it even more real.
I like how they're trying to call her a prepper.
And she don't have a locker. She don't have a gun locker for her guns to lock her guns up. But she just let her. She just lay willy-nilly around the damn house.
Federal agents have them.
Shit, I got a gun locker. Goddamn it, shit. Fuck out of here with that dumb shit.
And like you said, you don't give no, like if she was a fucking housewife, what the hell would possess her to have a 6 hour?
A 6 hour? No, not a 6 hour. She might have a Derringer, a 380 maybe. Yeah, the Glock, I understood.
Pretty sure it was blocking.
But a 6 hour? Come on, man.
Like, how did she even know what that was? I mean, like, the only people who I know even know what that is play Counter-Strike and Call of Duty. How the fuck do you even know what kind of gun that is? That's like one of the most exotic fucking, you have to import that.
You have it.
That is what all federal agents wear on their side. SIGs. That's their main federal agent and CIA agent. That's what they wear.
And let me,
yeah, because it's compact, right?
Let me ask y'all another thing, because this has been bothering me. You tell me if because I don't know. I'm one of those people that like logic. He killed. This is the timeline. He kills the mother first, right? That's what they say. Right?
Yeah, that's what they claim.
Right.
So the mother wasn't at the school. He kills the mother first in her house or in
the mama don't even work. Hold up, brother. Hold up, son. The mama never ever worked in the school.
Okay. All right.
The mother was not even part of the school.
All right. So he kills her. I don't know whether he killed her in her house or his house or whatever, but she was dead before. And then after he kills the mother, he goes to the school to kill the children. Now tell me what's wrong with that. Tell me. I mean, I'm not quite getting the logic, because even crazy people have a certain logic to them.
Right.
If you're going to kill the children, you would kill the children because that affects the mother. The mother is the one you really want to get.
And he got her.
But she's dead already.
Yeah.
So what the fuck did you think going to kill the children would do? That made no sense to me.